Shalom, guys. We're on free here. Let's hit it. Let's retardios.
Right.
Yeah, all this is suspicious. Aren't you those students from that military academy? Oh yeah, Salam guys, Ruster 380 said, aren't you those students from that military academy, was it? What are you doing here? We're sorry to trouble you, but we were hoping you might be able to help us with something. Because we asked you a few questions about the incident that occurred at the Grand Market this morning. What? What does that have to do with you? We're visiting this town as I feel such as students, fuck you, and Thors Military Academy, and we would very much appreciate the chance to see how experienced soldiers such as yourselves handle difficult everyday situations. It seems a perfect opportunity for an international case study and could prove most valuable to our education if you permit it. All right, stay here. I'll see what I can do. It looks like we might be able to hear what they have to say for themselves after all. Now she's done, Laura. On times like this, we need to make good use of our positions. No one can fault a student for wanting to learn after all. Now comes the hard part. This makes me nervous. Well, let's just wait and see what we can get out of them. Remember, it's not always what they say that matters, but how they say it. And even more importantly, what they don't say, right? I hope you appreciate us taking time out of our busy schedule for this. What do you want? Make it quick. I'm a busy man, you know. Not even trying to keep up appearances. Unbelievable. I'll be brief, then. We came to discuss the incident at the market this morning. Would we be correct in assuming that the provincial army will be conducting no further investigation? Is that all you came here to ask? Is that all? Should the armed forces charged with maintaining peace in this region not be taking this matter more seriously? Laura, I'm not sure. You've got a big mouth for someone your age, and it seems you have a lot to learn about how military units actually work. What do you mean? Let me ask you this. What should the number one priority of the provincial army be in order to maintain the status quo? I'll tell you, the number one priority should be enforce the will of their region's ruling lord, Duke Alberia. The members of the Prince Army, the will of the nobility is absolute. We're just following our orders, protecting what we have a duty to protect. I'm assuming you're referring to the local petition against the sales tax increase. So you're saying as long as the petition isn't withdrawn, the Grand Market isn't something you have a duty to protect? Interpret my words however you want. We're soldiers. We follow our orders. That's how the military works. And we don't need some fresh military academy inductees telling us how to do our jobs. This is nuts. Does he even have a tiny shred of shame? I was hoping we'd be able to get something out of him, but it sure doesn't seem too likely anymore. So is that it then? I hope this has been enlightening now. If you'll excuse me, I have a job to do. Would you mind answering just one question? Well, do you have any ideas what might have happened to the goods Marco was handling? You know, the accessory merchant, all he had left was just one sample. I'm really talking about the merchant from the capital, Hines, was one planning on selling accessories. What? What did you say? What are you all looking at me for? How do you know that? I was under the impression you hadn't investigated the matter at all. I'm not peculiar. We only discovered what each of the merchants was intending to sell a short while ago themselves. Sir, we have our own ways of finding things out. You do well not to underestimate us. Now we wasted enough time answering your questions. We're leaving. Do you think the fact that they know what each merchant was selling means they did investigate the matter? But the burglary happened last night and was only discovered this morning. Realistically, I don't think there was any opportunity during that time for them to do any digging, now without running into us. I agree. I suspect they knew what each merchant was planning to sell well in advance of yesterday's incident. Though that would be easy information for them to learn, since Duke Alvaria must have issued permits for both assaults. That's true, an army would have no trouble getting access to that transaction records for something like that. But why would they bother? Maybe they needed to know why. Maybe they needed to know so they could prepare. Prepare for what? I get the impression that the incident at the market has been carefully planned out for a while now. I don't think those two merchants being given permits for the same spot was a coincidence either. It was probably done to get them to start fighting so they could rob while there was tension between them, basically creating tension without that couldn't be brought under control without the army's help. So the two merchants were being used all along. That seems to fit perfectly with what happened this morning. Meanwhile, the French army was shown no interest in actively working toward a solution, unless the market manager chooses to withdraw his petition. So they waited for things to get out of hand, and then showed up to force both parties to an uncomfortable truth. Eventually, the merchants would get worn down enough that they feel like they have no choice but to withdraw a petition. This is turning out to be an even shadier situation than I thought. Yeah, but thanks to Elliot, I do believe we finally covered truth of this matter. That was indeed very quick thinking you displayed, Elliot. You'd make a fine military status. I just got lucky, that's all. So what we know is the French army somehow involved with the actual perpetrators of this crime. And only to solve it once and for all, though, seems to be, well, to find them and catch them. But if this was carried out by members of the French army, that's not going to be an easy task. No, I don't think anyone from the army was directly involved. The soldiers here are far too proud. No, hurt your hands from such expedites. I tend to agree. Really, whoever the culprits are, I doubt they're still in here in Celtic. Here, there aren't many vital places to hide such a huge amount of volume without them being found. Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe escape by train. No, that can't be. Boarding a train with that much merchandise would raise suspicion for sure. If they must have any since Berkeley habits, they can't have gotten far. Maybe we should ask around the main roads to see if anyone saw anything out of the ordinary. Someone suspicious may have been spotted leaving or entering the town. Or even entering the town. That sounds like a wise course of action. Come, let's resume our search. We must let this cowardly thief run free. I wouldn't dream of it. Are you okay? That's what the nasty man did to her. What's the matter? I was chasing after Lou near west exit town, and there was this weird man asleep along the side of the street. A weird man. To sleep in the midst of a bustling town like this, oblivious to its dangers, such as he must possess some formidable skill, or he was just really drunk. And Nancy smell coming off him made Lulu. That's terrible. It really was. I don't know who he is. I'll sure keep an eye on Lulu to make sure she keeps her distance from him. You're not from this town, then? I'm not sure. I only started seeing him around a week ago. Seeing him around a few days ago. Oh, fuck. I've never seen him like that before. Really? Now that sounds like a lead if ever I've had one. If he's drinking in the middle of the day and isn't instructor Sarah, then we know he's not a merchant, or at the very least. I think we should go talk to him. Let's have a look near the choice exit and see if we can track him down. Here, they broke my arm. Hey, bring me another drink. Phew you, this guy reeks. How much has he put down? It's only midday and he's already completely blitzed. I don't think this is the man we're looking after. I think he'd have trouble pulling off the robbery. Sir, are you alright? We can help you back home if you'd like. Sir, leave me alone. I'm just I'm good for nothing who lost his job looking after that nature park once my whole life. nature park. I wonder if talking about the Lunari Nature Park we saw yesterday. Oh, you kids know it? Yeah, I used to be the park ranger for that old place. And you lost your job? Yeah, out of nowhere too. I did my life job. He just came and took it all from me. Damn official just showed up out of nowhere and told me I was set. You can't just take a man's livelihood off him like that. It's not fair. That job was my life. I hate life. Yeah, we can see that. Something about this doesn't sound right. I agree. It hardly seems fair to take a man's job away from him without good reason. Right, I'm so glad somebody understands how I feel. There's no way a bunch of kids like that do a better job than me. Kids? I was reading last night here too. It's a bunch of kids and Ranger went walking out of town through the west. Where it was, they were carrying a bunch of wood boxes too in the middle of the night. Kids, I tell you. You know, I mean, they could have been in the nature park. I wouldn't even considered it. But given aside, I know down is a perfect hiding spot. Yeah, there'd be no trouble stashing merchandise there undetected. The men probably, standing interest probably were there as lookouts. And if a parental official was the one to tell him he was fired, that's practically a smoking gun. I'd say something useful or something. I don't know, I said, but if I helped you out, why not buy me a drink? I would suggest you start trying to sober yourself up instead. Here you go. And so, there's a good chance you may be able to recover both your parking and your job. What? Yeah, we know our next stop. As soon as we're fully prepared, let's head on to the Lunari Nature Park. Right. Go outside, man. Yeah. Sure, you need to go. Would you mind giving us some details about the monster you want to exterminate? No, the personal armor did say they will handle it, but they don't exactly seem to be in a hurry to do so. And that's why we had to request that all you take care of it instead. My apologies for that. It's perfectly fine. Please don't worry about it. Just what sort of monster is it then? Well, I've heard it seems to be a massive avian monster appeared last night supposedly. Worse still, it appeared right in the middle of the hallway and bucketing passage through it. As such, we should really need to take care of it. As for a specific location, you'll find it by heading west once you left town. Apparently, it situates itself on a stone bridge located on the highway to Homdale. God, we'll take care of it as fast as possible. We'll report once we're done soon. He's sick. I'm sorry, what's your name? It's me.
We should take a right here to reach the nature park.
Right. Let's go.
Enemies ahead!
Here we go!
We'll have to fight.
There!
Right. Turn to flame. Burn!
No.
My turn.
And he just sat there.
My turn.
My turn!
Of course. Hi. My turn. All right, let's keep going. Watch out, guys! Right.
I can do this.
Of course.
So this man is actually deranged.
My turn!
Right. Let's go.
And open!
When in doubt, look
You've
to
saved me
Laura.
more. A worthy
My
adversary.
turn! Arcus!
I can do this. Turn to flame. Go.
And open!
Ha!
Right. Analyzing enemy attack patterns. I've got it.
Dwardar approaches bird prey, pulls prey upwards with whirling and snatches it up with his talons. Yeah.
My turn.
It did tell.
Here we go!
Yeah.
Arcus, activate! Huh.
Right. Let's go.
Right. Huh? Now.
I've got you.
Yep. You see.
Keep it up, everyone.
Here we go! All right, let's do this!
My turn.
What's your name?
I can do this.
Yeah.
Fire now.
And open. My turn.
Go! Go!
I'll pick you up.
It's my turn. Turn to flame. Now.
And open.
When in doubt, look
You've
to
saved
Laura.
me more than once too, you know.
I did it!
Nup.
You quest monster, okay. Heal allies in the area with a purifying breath. Yeah, I guess that's not a bad ability.
Enemies ahead.
Go.
We'll have to fight.
There! Now's our chance!
I'll pick you up. Right.
I can do this.
Fuck.
Fire! Is everyone okay? Nicely done.
Watch out, guys!
Go!
Right!
My turn. You still have a lot of training to do.
I came across a book I finished reading while cleaning up bookshelf. Came by getting rid of it so you can have it. You seem kind of busy right now, but you have time. Red Moon Rose, Chapter 3. Fucking pick. What the fuck? Chapter 3 for Bowen. The next morning, Alphonse found himself in his commanding officer's, Gerard's office. He had come to request permission to independently investigate the vampire murders. Gerard scratched his head before giving Alphonse a questioning look. His eyes filled with the kind of vitality one would expect from a much younger man. You want to pursue that case all on your own? Alphonse cleared his throat nervously. He was well aware that what he was asked was completely unreasonable. Not on my own, a civilian agreed to help me conduct my investigation. The two of us would be working together. It sounded pretty weak to him, but Rose had been adamant that they keep the truth of the matter to themselves. It wouldn't be to the benefit of society for the existence of vampires to become widely known. She had insisted. As such, try and arrange for us to be able to investigate the murders by ourselves without interruption. Aside from a cool farewell for now, those had been her last words before disappearing into the night. And what she said made sense. There was simply no way that Gerard would believe that vampires existed, even if it was his surrogate son trying to persuade him. After all, despite seeing a ghoul with his very own eyes, part of Alphonse still wanted to believe that it had all been a dream. To compound the problem further, for reasons that Alphonse wasn't privy to, Rose seemed to oppose anything other than investigating the matter. Covertly as such, her joining the team formed to officially investigate murders was off the table. Alphonse was therefore left with no choice but to propose that the two of them investigate together in secret. Alphonse was not surprised then to see Gerard's less than willing expression. Listen, Al, as your guardian, I've got a responsibility to look after you. That's why I want to raise you to be a fine soldier and why I don't want you to put your life in danger for no reason. Alphonse flushed. He'd already been removed from a team investigating the murderers, as well as taking off night patrol duty. Gerard was well aware of his fixation with the case. That was exactly why he was afraid that Alphonse might end up going too far in his attempts to solve it and get injured or worse. Gerard, sir, I understand exactly what you're trying to say, and I appreciate your concern, but Seeing Alphonse's determination, Gerard hesitated. The boy standing before him was calm with clear eyes. Where previously there had been recklessness, now purpose and resolve seemed to rule. After a lengthy silence, he let out a sigh of resignation. You really do take after your father, he smiled fondly, but quickly switched to his official commanding officer voice. I expect you to give your utmost to successfully solving the mission behind these murders. However, I will approve of this mission only on a condition that you report daily on the results of your investigation. Alphonse almost responded in his usual casual tone, but quickly calmed himself just in time. He coughed, cleared his throat, and showed attention. Gerard chuckled. Just be sure to put yourself needlessly in danger. Just be sure not to put yourself needlessly in danger, understood? And anything happens, inform me immediately. Yes, fucking sir. Alphonse gave a deep bow, grateful for his guardian's kindness. I see that everything went well. That is good news. Two of them were in the corner of the shopping industry where the first victim of the vampire murders had been found. It was the middle of the day, but the alleyway in which they stood was gloomy and draped in shadows by the looming buildings that surrounded it. The second he had stepped into the narrow passageway, Rose had appeared out of nowhere, just like the previous day. Because the place where Alphonse had been attacked by the ghoul the previous night was currently under investigation by the Gerard team, they thought it best stay clear of it for the rest of the day. As such, they had decided to examine the scene of an earlier murder instead. Unlike the previous night, Rose had neither her coat nor her sword with her. Instead, she wore a simple dress in the local style. Anyone seeing her for the first time wouldn't be able to tell what she was anything more than a perfectly ordinary girl. According to Rose, neither vampires nor ghouls were able to operate in daylight, and thus battle-ready wear was unnecessary. Everyday clothing also had the benefit of laying suspicion by blending in, she said. It was a fine logical theory. But both Alphonse still garbed in his military uniform, they made for an unusual pairing. As such, Alphonse couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief when he realized how few people were in the surrounding area. The scene of the first murder was still had some air about it. Alphonse set about scouring the area, and as he mused over the case details involving the victim, a question came to mind. Thinking about it, I never heard about any of the earlier victims turning to ghouls. Is that because you've defeated them? We'll shook her head. No, in previous cases, I was able to perfect advise with thaumaturgy before they turned into ghouls. I would rather not harm the body of the deceased if I can help it. Thaumaturgy, as Rose explains it, was a collective name for special techniques used by a small number of people belonging to the Septine Church. The power of thaumaturgy was apparently the reason why Rose Rapier and Alphonse Short Sword were capable of defeating ghouls and vampires. Curious, Alphonse asked Rose if she was connected to the church, to which she responded, "Feel free to think of it that way." He itched to probe her more on the subject, but she began explaining the particulars about ghouls. So he let it drop. Since the murders had started, it seemed that the time it took for a corpse to turn into a ghoul was decreasing with every kill. Alphonse encounter with the ghoul the previous night was the first occasion that she had been able to purify the victim. She had been unable to purify the victim in time, and as such, she had been left with no choice but to fight. So the possibility was well within my expectation. It's not the first time it has happened, after all. Someone like yourself would appear and try to get involved. Certainly wasn't, however. Rose said, with a giggle, caught Alphonse's ears who turned pink at the tips. Anyway, he said, crouching down to inspect the ground level, have you managed to gather anything about the culprit from your previous investigations? Rose nodded. Judging by the bite marks left on the victims, I believe that the vampire is likely male. Furthermore, despite victims being found all across the city, the bite marks look the same as one another. That suggests the work of a single vampire. Beyond that, however, Rose fell silent. Is something bothering you? I want to ask without thinking. Yes, actually. It may be possible that the vampire looking in the city is... That makes sense. Her gaze focused on something behind Alphonse. Turning around, he saw a young man in a military uniform, much like himself. That was someone he knew. Elroy, what are you doing here? I was about to ask the same thing, the other man grumbled. Elroy was a fellow member of the Gerard team who had joined around the same time as Alphonse did. They combined the two of them being roughly the same age. One might expect them to get along well, but in reality, they usually ended up arguing about everything. It had been like that for almost as long as Alphonse had known him. I'd heard you'd formed a separate team to check up on the murders. I had no idea that it was just a pretext to be meeting a woman during working hours, Elroy sneered. Alphonse stifled his annoyance. At least it seemed as if the other men hadn't overheard their earlier conversation. Clearing his throat, Alphonse said evenly, she's a civilian who's assisting with my investigation, so knock it off. And you, what are you doing here? Nothing particular. I just happened to be passing by. We've got to patrol a much wider area now thanks to all this vampire nonsense. Alphonse stood and gave him a cold look. Watch what you're saying. People in this area have lost family and friends because of these murders. Elroy snored and cast an uncaring glance at the spot where the first victim had been found. I mean, seriously, vampire murders? We're supposed to be the Imperial Army, not a bunch of country bracers. Are we seriously considering the possibility that fairy tale creatures like that exist? And besides, what kind of idiot goes out at night when there's a serial killer on the loose? They were asking for it. If you ask me, people need to stay in their damn homes and stop making more work for us. You son of a... Enraged by the sheer callousness of Elroy's words, Alphonse started towards him, or tried to rather. Strong, unyielding fingers held him by the arm. Completely expressionless and without so much as a glance, Rose whispered, arguing with him serves no purpose. That time would be better spent investigating. She spoke calmly, but her words were sharp and dismissive. What she said was right, though, and hearing it was enough for Alphonse to cool his temper. As she said, they had more important things to be doing. He had sworn that he would solve these murders and put the past behind him, and that needed to be his foremost priority. He took a deep breath to regain his composure. The reassuring weight of the silver sword hidden in his uniform further reminding him of what he needed to do. Watching them, Elroy gave a bored, derisive laugh. Oh, and the civilian helper, or whatever you are, don't you go wandering around at night either. The last thing the army needs is more dead bodies. Clear up. And with a monkey wave, he left them. After inspection of the first crime scene, Alphonse and Rose spent the remainder of the day scrutinizing the scenes of the second and third murders. But in the end, their search yielded no fruit. After reporting their progress to Gerard, he made his way to the Allegria, where he had promised to meet Rose to discuss how they would proceed with their investigation. The sea around him was bathed in the orange glow of the setting sun when Alphonse finally stepped into the sparsely populated tavern. He found Rose sitting at a table near one of the windows. Once again, she was wearing the navy coat from their first meeting. It seemed safe to assume that the rapier she used that night was inside it too. Evening, she called out to him, "I was expecting you to be here sooner." Alphonse didn't reply. He was too busy staring at the girl sitting opposite her. "What's wrong, Luca?" Luca turned at the sound of her name, eyes so wide and moist that tears threatened to fall at any moment. "Alfie, what is this woman to you? What?" Perplexed, he looked over in Rose's direction as if seeking an explanation. Rose favored him for bland expression. "The idea was walking to this tavern and state I would like an out-of-the-way table to discuss the future with Al, and she has been pressing me with endless questions ever since." She sighed and shrugged her shoulders as if she understood the situation no better than Alphonse did. Seeing this, he let out an even greater sigh. Before Luca could launch into another interrogation, Alphonse set about explaining Rose's role as a civilian helper, aiding an army investigation, and after several reassurances, he was eventually able to clear up the misunderstanding. Luca's relief seemed to fill her with renewed energy. Cheerfully, she bounded up from their table and made her way into the back of the tavern again. Her departure so too lit the gaze of the other curious and amused patrons. Rose and Alphonse bent to discussing their investigation. Vampires, Rose elaborated, were only able to use their powers at night. During the day, they were no different from ordinary humans. Unfortunately, this meant that even if they were to encounter one, neither of them would be able to tell where they can walk there in the day. If they hoped to end the murders, they would first need to identify some kind of clue as to the vampire's true identity. At one point during the conversation, Alphonse went pale at the thought that they might have to exhume the corpses of previous victims in order to reinvestigate them. But Rose assured him that would not be necessary. To his great relief, she had already checked them thoroughly for clues. Even that gruesome task had yielded a little more information than the similarities between the bite marks. Though the vampire foe was a cunning one, the number of bodies and lack of clues all point towards a careful killer who more than likely was living right there among them as an ordinary human. After working their way through the simple meal that Luca brought them, Rose casually glanced over to the back of the tavern. "You seem rather close to that girl," she murmured. It took a few minutes for Alphonse to realize who Rose was referring to. "Yeah, I suppose you could say that. I've known her for 10 years now, after all. We had first met Luca when he had both stayed when he was brought to Hamdall by Gerard. Initially, he had stayed in a house near the tavern, and being brought by it often, the two of them quickly became friends. As an orphan, Luca's support over years meant more to him than words could express." Telling Rose all of this, Alphonse could feel his cheeks heating. He began fidgeting awkwardly. "I'm a little anxious," Rose said. As she spoke, Alphonse noticed a change in her expression and tone. Usually, she said things sharply or with an air of cool detachment. Her face was also betrayed by her inner thoughts. Now, though, he caught a little hint of loneliness, unable to let this pass go unnoticed. Alphonse opened his mouth to comment. Suddenly, Rose jumped out of her seat. Her chair fell to the ground with a crash. Once again, the two of them became subject of a room full of gazes, but she paid that fact no mind and stared out of the window, her eyes open wide. What is it? What's wrong?" Alphonse whispered loudly. "It's nearby. I can sense it." "It? What do you mean?" "The vampire," she is. No sooner had she that, she raced over to the tavern's owner, who was busy at the back of the building. Alphonse chased after her. He had never seen her in such a panicked state before. "Where is the young lady who was here earlier?" Rose asked the puzzled tavern owner, who didn't appear to have any idea who she was referring to. It was then that Alphonse realized that he didn't see Luca anywhere and hadn't seen her since she brought them their food a half hour. After telling this to the owner, he finally seemed to realize what he was being asked. Not to mention, I would have expected her to be back by now. I asked her to run an errand over at the grocery store opposite here. Alfonso Rose exchanged a glance and instantly understood what the other was thinking. Overcome a sense of great foreboding, the two of them rushed out of the shop without saying a word. Damn, these fucking chapters getting fucking long, man. That's bullshit. But it's nice to read. Kill Luca? Yep. We'll get $1 billion.
Enemy sighted!
Right.
Take him out!
Fire!
Here we go! There! Go!
I'll pick you up. My turn.
Fool! Here we go! Okay, it's safe for now.
Well, shall we
Go.
begin?
The fucking tomato is really fucking with me.
There!
I can do this.
Right.
Of course. You still have a lot of training to do.
Bring it on! Go! There!
I can do this.
My turn. Hey!
Go! That's the power of the 8 leaves.
Yeah, I like this. I see you've taken care of that monster. I really can't thank you enough. I'll have to let those who use the highway regularly know right away. Of course, here first comes your reward for what job well done. Here, take this. I feel bad for seeing this. Others on you definitely earned it. Apologies for leaving all the work to you. Good luck in investigating too. Yeah, all right. Excuse me, you got to be Lizzie, that's correct. Does that make you the students from Thors, who the market manager said would be coming? Yeah, that's us. We came to see you about your question, and could you explain the situation to us? Of course, I happened to come across someone's wallet by my store yesterday, you see. I kept it with me in the hopes that one could pick it up, but no one came here claiming claim. As such, I'd like you to ask for all your help in delivering it back to its owner. Would you be able to do that for me? You'd be happy to, thank you. Here's what I found, Ben. Did you get care of it? I assume you've already checked the contents. I did indeed. Unfortunately, there wasn't anything inside I could help identify the owner. What exactly was it inside anyway? Well, it naturally has a mirror in it, like a live mirror. This isn't some chump change we're talking about. The only other thing was a train ticket to Heimdall that was scheduled for tonight. Sounds like the traveler is fairly well off. Sounds like the owner's very well traveled in. That's not much we can do with that as our only lead, though. I believe the train ticket is particularly our best lead. What should we do with it? Should we go at the station? Yeah. Considering it's for a train that leaves tonight, I imagine the owner is frantically searching for it. Which means they might have already been to the station themselves to ask about it. Let's head to the station then. Sorry for trouble, but I'm counting on you over this. Fucking fetch quest. At Rean station, asked about whether or not there had been inquiries in loss of property. Yes, there was an inquiry. All seems to match scripture we see too. Can I ask the inquiries made? I believe it was this morning. Young lady came along in a panic, claiming that she was at a complete loss without her wallet and its contents. What I could tell, she seems to have been traveling alone. Sure. From what I could tell, she seems to have been traveling alone too. I get why she would be in a panic then. Did she say anything else that could lead us to her? She mentioned something about checking to the inn to do a thorough check if I recall correctly. There's a Weber clock right down the street. You can't miss it. How convenient. We happen to be staying there ourselves. Okay, let's go ask Margaret. Yeah, let's go head back. Oh, hey, it doesn't matter. Do you have a moment? There's something I would like to ask you. We're looking for Annabelle. Bad timing, though. She just left. That's unfortunate. But we have a name now, at least. That makes it a lot easier. True. All that's left now is to actually meet her. She mentioned that she'd been searching at the rest area in the Grand Market next, so you'll want to head there. Make sure you return her, okay? Okay, we will, fucking bitch. I fucking hate this fucking fetch quest bullshit, man. I can't stand this shit. Yeah, it's one of these things. I'll leave the wall in here. Please do your best. Huh? Oh. You wouldn't have to know about a young lady came in here searching for a wallet, would you? She was neat here a few months ago, but she's gone on. Do you know where she went, Ben? Unfortunately not. She didn't mention something about having no choice but to run on now, though. Does that help you at all? I think there's only one place that could be. Shall we make our way to the church? Yeah, that seems like our best bet for now. Yeah, I went to the damn church. I'm asking questions. I swear, your wall's not here, man. Yo, why are you being so still? What is that? Hey, yo, please have mercy on my poor soul. I simply cannot believe this. How am I supposed to live on having lost all my family in a mirror place like this? Looks like we found her. The tragic heroin act made it kind of obvious. Unfortunately, we'll have to interrupt her. Excuse me. Eek. Just who are you? Well, you can turn right around if you're planning to rob me. I no longer have any. Please calm down. We just wanted to ask you something. Or you try to assume that you are Annabelle? I am. Thought so. You wouldn't have it to recognize the swap, would you? So remember, well, this is my wallet. Where did you find it? Well, you see. Thank you so much. I'm surprised here the merchant bureau kept it safe for me. However, kind of remains when people's hearts after all we've seen. It looks like way, yeah. And regardless, I'm very grateful that you found it for me. Is there any amount in particular you'd like to return? You can take half of what's currently in here if you'd like. I don't think we can accept that. Your face alone, I see. Well, how about this then? A souvenir at the Grand Market before the Great Wallet search began. I see no reason you can't accept that. In fact, I insist. I hope you find it useful. Oh, thanks, Steve. Briefly accept then. Thank you again for finding my wallet. You managed to find an owner of the wallet, man. Thank goodness. I really can't thank you enough. I'm glad that we could all be of help. Please excuse us then. Whew. Man, that was some shit, man. It was fucking up on purpose, and they know he's fucking doing it. And they don't think you're so incompetent.
Come on, then.
There! Right!
I can do this.
My turn! Is everybody okay?
Enemy sight! Here we go! There!
Right! Fire! Go!
An opening! Of course. Hey!
Go! That's the power of the 8 leaves. Enemy sight! My turn! There!
It's my turn. Now!
An opening!
Right.
Of course. Hey! We should keep going.
Sir, they know what's going on. That's right. They know what's going on. Anyway. No one's here now.
Doesn't seem like anybody's here. I wonder what happened to those bossy guys who were here before. If they really are the culprits, maybe they've run away already?
This woodland is too dense to reliably intuit whether anyone awaits within.
Yeah.
What's this?
It's...
A bracelet?
How did a bracelet come to be in a place such as this?
Just as I thought. This bracelet has the same design on it as the ones that the merchant from the capital was planning on selling.
Really?
You're sure?
Positive. There's not a doubt in my mind that it was designed by the same person. Care to give a second opinion on that, Laura?
I'm hardly qualified to weigh in on recent trends, but there do seem to be a number of similarities between this bracelet and the merchant's goods.
So the fact that it's here means...
Yeah. It's extremely likely the culprits we're looking for are inside this park.
Sure seems that way to me.
It only opens from the inside. I suppose that leaves us little choice.
Are you going to destroy it?
Will you be able to...
The lock seems quite solid, but my sword should be strong enough to...
Wait. I'll do it. I can get it done more quietly.
Oh?
Really?
Well, what are you going to do?
The 8 Leaves One Blade School's 4th form, Autumn Leaf Cutter.
Yeah, I mean, we already use that, don't we?
Huh?
Seriously?
Wow! You cut it right in two!
I did, thankfully.
Spectacular. It's an honor bearing witness to one of the skills of the 8 Leaves School.
Thanks, but I'm still more or less a beginner. Anyway, we don't have much time left. Let's head inside and see if we can find them.
Right. We need to find them before the sun starts to set.
Looks like we can still make it after all.
Excellent. Come then, we must make haste.
That was pretty interesting.
Right.
My turn!
Of course.
Here we go!
It's badass.
There's tons of little stone monuments in here.
Yeah. What do you think they're supposed to be?
I imagine they were made by the animists in this province.
Yeah, I believe I already have an arm cutter. So yeah.
We have nothing
My
to
turn.
fear.
Turn to flame! Burn!
Right!
You know, I could have used deep tech when I really think about it, CP. Huh.
Give it up, everyone!
Jelly shroom. A massively swollen fungus paralyzes organisms that approach it and slowly feeds on their nutrients.
Right.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, bullies over there. Oh my.
My turn.
Arm leaf cutter.
There. Go.
I'll pick you up!
Right! That takes care of them!
Hey.
Enemies ahead!
It's my turn!
We have to fight!
Fire!
Here we go. There.
Of course.
My turn! Analyzing enemy attack patterns. Analysis complete!
Bladehorn. A large insect monster with a horn resembling a blade. Uses it to forcefully shatter foes. Okay.
It's my turn! Just now!
An opening.
My turn. Okay, it's safe for now.
What's she at? Nice.
Now's our chance!
Here
we
we
can
go.
do this!
Go.
I'll pick you up!
It's my turn! Fire!
Right!
Of course. Hey! We should keep going.
I'm about to tune off after I beat the enemies in this area.
Bring it on. My turn. There.
Of course.
It's my turn! Fire!
Right!
My turn.
It's my turn!
Right! Alright, let's keep going! Oh, a treasure chest!
I welcome all
My turn.
challengers.
There. Now's a chance.
I'll pick you up! My turn! Right!
It's my turn! Turn to flame! Burn!
Right. Hey!
Go. Okay, it's safe for now. I did it.
This way's a dead end.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, this park covers a lot more area than I was expecting.
Yeah, no fucking shit, man. Yeah, it's dead end. No.
That looks like...
A worthy adversary. Right. Off guard.
I've got you! Right!
A permanent dwells Gordy Chief. a ferment that dwells in the forest. Explosions are so powerful that they knock the recipient unconscious.
My turn! Analyzing enemy attack patterns. I've got it!
Toss a panda, a surprisingly ferocious panda monster, who wields a piece of bamboo like a weapon to fight off his enemies.
It's my turn. Hang in there.
Thanks, my turn! Good night!
Right. Turn to flame. Burn.
Here we go! There!
Right. Hang in there.
Here we go! There!
Right. Turn to flame. Burn.
My turn! Arcus activate!
I can do this. Fire!
Right! Now!
I've got you. That takes care of them.
I did it!
I've
That was fucking tough. I don't know what kind of asshole would play this game on fucking hard or nightmare mode. You gotta be a fucking sadist want to do that shit. But I beat him. Sorry for this one, guys. Brunson 3 out. Peace with you. Dan, see you later. Bye-bye.